Imagine trying to sneak a life-saving drug into the human brain. But the brain's biological security system is just so aggressive that it blocks 99% of the medicine.
Yeah, this is a massive hurdle.
Right. But now imagine bypassing that biological wall, not with more chemistry, but by engineering a literal physical disguise. Welcome to today's deep dive. I'm your host, and I'm here with our resident expert.
Hey there. Glad to be diving into this one.
So, our mission today is to unpack a really dense stack of scientific research to show you how the traditional walls between biology, physics, and computer science have just completely collapsed.
They really have. I mean, the overarching theme in these papers is that our most complex, persistent problems, they just don't fit into neat academic boxes anymore.
Exactly. We are looking at how researchers are engineering radical solutions for both the human body and the Earth itself.
Right, because we are routinely using mechanical structures to sort of hack biological limits and microelectronics to interface directly with human neurology.
Which brings us right to that biological security system we mentioned, the blood-brain barrier. I mean, treating metastatic brain cancer has always hit this literal physical wall.
Yeah, the barrier is specifically evolved to keep large foreign molecules out.
Which unfortunately includes those life-saving therapeutic antibodies.
Yeah, exactly. It is an incredibly selective biological filter. So to beat it, researchers have developed what they call the Access Nanomedicine Platform.
XS, right.
Yeah, they take a highly engineered gold nanoparticle and essentially turn it into a dual-action vehicle. On one side of the particle, they attach the therapeutic cancer-fighting antibody.
Okay.
And on the other side, they attach insulin.
Okay, let's unpack this. Basically, this gold nanoparticle is a microscopic party crasher, right?
This is a good way to look at it.
It slaps on a VIP insulin disguise, walks right up to the blood-brain barrier's bouncers, and because the brain constantly needs insulin to survive, the bouncers just wave it right through.
Exactly. I mean, the mechanism at play is natural receptor-mediated transcytosis.
Wow.
Yeah, so the brain's insulin receptors physically bind to the insulin on the nanoparticle, and they pull the entire structure.
Including the cancer drug.
Yes, including the attached cancer drug right across the cell membrane. By utilizing this natural mechanical pathway, the platform delivers 30 times more therapeutic antibodies directly to tumors than standard treatments.
30 times. That is wild. So if the ACAS platform is about using physics to sneak chemistry into the brain, the next breakthrough is about using microelectronics to read the mind directly.
Yes, we are talking about the Brain Interface Single Chip, or BISC.
Right. And the scale of this thing is just...
It's a monumental shift in clinical neurotechnology.
Hmm.
The BISC is a fully integrated mixed signal circuit, and it's thinned down to just 50 micrometers.
Which is incredibly thin.
Because it is so thin, it physically conforms flush against the curved cortical surface of the brain. That direct, seamless contact is how it captures high-fidelity neural firing patterns.
Without needing to penetrate the brain tissue with those rigid probes like older tech. And it does all of this completely wirelessly, right? It pulls down a 100 megabits per second data link, capturing those real-time patterns without any cords sticking out of the skull.
Or massive implanted batteries, yeah. Which is the core reason this is such a massive leap forward for paralyzed patients.
Because the old ones were just too clunky.
Right. Historically, brain-computer interfaces required incredibly bulky hardware and transcutaneous wires. It severely limited their clinical use.
That makes sense.
So by eliminating those physical constraints and providing massive wireless bandwidth, machine learning decoders finally have the raw, clean data they need.
To instantly translate complex motor intentions into actual movement.
Exactly.
The through line here is just fascinating to me. We are taking a mindset of radical, hyper-precise physical intervention and intervening in incredibly complex, chaotic systems.
And it doesn't stop with the body.
Right. Looking at the research, this mindset is now being scaled up from the microscopic human brain to the entire planet's atmosphere.
We are seeing that exact engineering approach applied to climate change.
With solar radiation management.
Specifically, stratospheric aerosol injection. To study this, researchers are using what's called a rapid expansion aerosol chamber to perfectly simulate the extreme cold and pressure of the stratosphere.
Right. They are testing the injection of solid inorganic materials, specifically this hollow silica stuff, at temperatures below -40 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, to reflect incoming solar energy back into space.
But wait, I have to ask, aren't we just giving the Earth a massive artificial aspirin to hide the symptoms of warming instead of actually curing the disease?
Well, it's a highly valid concern. I mean, the hollow structure of the silica is what makes it so incredibly efficient at scattering light, effectively cooling the heat.
Right.
But you're right, it does not remove the carbon. Furthermore, the physics of these inorganic particles can actively promote polar stratospheric cloud formation.
Oh, which mechanistically accelerates ozone depletion, right.
Exactly. You mask the heat, but you risk damaging the atmosphere's structural integrity.
So you're trading one planetary crisis for a massive potential side effect.
Which is exactly why the researchers in these papers argue that global anticipatory governance is strictly required before any field trials ever occur.
You just can't intervene in a system this large without massive, globally coordinated oversight.
Exactly. We are just reporting what the sources emphasize here, but they are very clear on that need for oversight.
It really emphasizes why understanding these converging fields matters so much to you listening at home. You just can't look at nanomedicine, microchips, and climate engineering in isolation anymore.
No, you can't. Shifting a variable in physics directly alters the biology of the brain or the chemistry of the atmosphere.
The future breakthroughs will belong to those who can connect the mechanisms across all these boundaries.
Completely agree.
Which leaves you with something pretty wild to think about. I mean, our sources detail these closed-loop neural implants, right?
Yeah, microchips that autonomously monitor the brain's electrical activity.
Exactly, and deliver targeted stimulation to stop seizures before they even start. So if we can build an autonomous closed-loop system to regulate a human brain, could we eventually see a global closed-loop system where an AI autonomously sprays stratospheric aerosols to regulate the Earth's climate in real time? Something for you to ponder until our next deep dive.